Hey buddy, this is Collin, Mr. Oldschool Gamer, bringing you another clip from the wonderful world of Warships. Today is the second part of my Hindenburg, the Tier 10 tank series that I launched on my channel, because this ship is just truly amazing. There is no other ship in the game, in my humble opinion, that is as fun and has so high damage output and survivability as this Tier 10 cruiser, the Hindenburg. So I'm in a match with some clan mates. I have one clan mate in a battleship on my team, and we are facing 3 clan mates on the red team. So as you can see, me pointing to the minimap here, usually on this map, for some reason, the red team in this example always go for the A and B cap, and our team in this situation, spawning in the north, will usually go for B and C cap. I don't know why it is like this, but in all of the matches I played on this map, this happens about 90% of the time. Usually our team, the green team in this example, will send, as we do right now, 1 destroyer and maybe 1 battleship or 1 cruiser to the A cap, but usually the majority of the team will go for the B and C cap. Now, my tactic on this map, spawning on this side in the Hindenburg, is to pretty much break that tradition. Because I don't want to be pushing north towards sea with all the rest of the fleet. Because sure, I will do great work up north in my Hindenburg. That's no problem at all. But if I really want to have great, amazing games, I will always take the path least, I don't know, walked. I totally forgot the saying, but I think you guys understand what I mean. You should pretty much go against the flow. You should go where no one else goes, pretty much. Because I know that the majority of the enemy team is on this flank, and I want to face the majority of the enemy team, because it's here I can inflict most damage and have a greater game, pretty much. Now, as you can see, I was pretty loy, sailing towards the A cap, showing a whole lot of broadside, and it's kind of a bad thing that you learn to do when you play Hindenburg, because this ship will tank so much damage that you will start to play a bit reckless, which I usually actually do in my Hindenburg, eating really nasty pens and also citadels sometimes. But the thing is that even though you would lose a third of your health in a big giant Yamamoto salvo or something, you can always heal a little bit of it back, and then you can just start kiting them and burning them down. So I usually play pretty reckless, don't think that much about angling, and that is something that you need to be wary of when you're playing the Hindenburg. I mean, you can take a whole lot of damage with your turtleback armor, but with experience you start to play more and more reckless, pretty much. Now I got this enemy conqueror to turn around fleeing because he don't really want to take this fight, and I can totally understand him. That said, Conqueror and alongside the Republic is probably the only two battleships that you should be a bit cautious fighting in the Hindenburg. Conqueror, of course, he will heal back every fire damage that you do to him, and he has pretty much the same chance of burning you down as you have burning him down. So he isn't the most the best opponent for you to fight. So I don't really have any problems with this Conqueror fleeing away, because that just makes my job on this flank so much easier, because I won't have that much fire damage to have to heal alongside all the battleship AP salvos. And as I will go over in the end of this game, because after the game I will also showcase the modules, the consumables, the flags, and also my captain skills that I use on my Hindenburg for all my Hindenburg replays. So please make sure to stay tuned for that if you have any interest in how I set up my Hindenburg to get these games that I have. As you see, I took a bit of a salvo, but I can heal half of it back. So of course this wasn't that big of a deal. Now you can see that I has fucked up a little bit, because I shouldn't really push towards an enemy battleship like this, because I will benefit at taking these fights at a range. You see, I took another huge salvo. So now it's time to use my heal, and here is where I pretty much do a suicide move. I'm turning broadside on to a curve first. But I do always, when I have to do this, I play with my speed and my rudder, so I get a shorter turning circle than you usually get in the Hindenburg, turning around full speed, so to speak. And that tactic that I used here, which you can see I am already aft in, is really effective in duking salvos and dodging salvos from battleships. I don't think I could have done this turn at this close parameter to this curve first in any other tier 10 cruiser. He would probably have blapped me in both my SAO, Moskva of course, or Des Moines. But Hindenburg, I didn't really fear that much doing that crazy maneuver in front of a curve first, and of course all the other battleships that are focusing us on this flank. So now I'm in my sweet spot. I'm showing my ass to the enemy, and I'm kiting away using these great guns with great accuracy and great speed to burn down and chase off every ship that is trying to push this flank pretty much. I also have help here from my clanmate in his Montana, which is of course a huge help, because he is tanking a whole lot of damage right now. But this is pretty much the sweet spot. When you get this position on this A side on this map, you can pretty much just kite and dodge for days, burning down all the opposition. And that is the great, pretty much Hindenburg playstyle that you need to adapt to survive to the end game, which I do pretty much all the games I play. It's showing a bit of a broadside, so I thought I changed to armor piercing. And as I will show you guys later on, I haven't gotten my legendary module for the Hindenburg while playing this match, and also none of the matches I showcased on the channel before. But when the time when I was recording this commentary, I have gotten my legendary module, which has actually made my Hindenburg even more tankier than it was before. So I saw this enemy Kagero pushing my friendly battleships. So I just let the other guys at AB, so I can just kill him off. I don't really care if there are 3-4 ships focusing me, because I know that Hindenburg can take it. Now I am totally alone on this flank. My clanmate finally died to all the focus fire from the A-cap. And but I don't really have any trouble with holding this flank alone. You can see my team is starting to gather around the B-cap. We have cap advantage, but the enemy... No, actually I have the same amount of ships. But as you can see, I'm at 10,000 or 7,000 HP. And most players would probably choose to go dark here and just kite away and flee for the rest of the match. But even though I get focused by 2 tier 10 battleships and one of the strongest gunboat destroyers in the game, I have no trouble in continue to pick a fight with them. Of course, focusing Dakizuki most, because of these 3 ships I actually fear Dakizuki the most. I can deal with the Montana, I can deal with the Kurfürst, but Dakizuki is the bigger threat for me. So Shimakase pops up, so I start to engage him instead, because I don't really need to focus the 3 ships pushing me. And then I just switch back again. And just using my speed and maneuverability makes it not hard at all to dodge these salvos. And now I earned my Witherer and High Caliber. I'm up to 170,000 damage done, and it's still ticking. And I still want to go dark, because I know I can take these battleships out with the little health I have left. I have no troubles at all. You just dodge and duke, change your speed, turn a little bit, go slim, profile, and it's no trouble at all. And the thing that usually happens is what happens right now. After they try to kill me for about 10 or 12 minutes, they will finally just grow sick of me and just trying to start focusing other ships instead that they can damage. And then you just get a free reign on the enemy ships pretty much. Then you can start turning around again and start chasing them while kiting. And this is pretty much how I play the Hindenburg in every match I play. Also in ranked and clan wars. This is usually the role that you will have in the Hindenburg. You will usually always go wide on one of the outer caps in clan wars or ranked, and then you will be that pesky cruiser that will just kite that flank, burning the battleships and the cruisers down. And since I have the spotter plane and also the special spotter plane module, which I don't think I actually had in this game, but I have nowadays, they can't really run away from me, because I can get just amazing range with that spotter plane and just continue to chase them burn them down, and well, that's pretty much it. So this game I tanked 2.5 million damage for my team. 2.5 million damage in a cruiser with, what is it? 50 hit points? I can't really see because the picture is so small. Yeah, that's a pretty good game. And of course, the majority of those 2.5 million tanked was while I was on about 9,000 HP. So that is the tankiness of this Tier 10 battleship Hindenburg. And this isn't even the best game I had in this. I think I tanked over a bit over 3 and 3.4 million or something in the Hindenburg. And I think I had like up to 260 maybe damage done. And I can't really say that, at least for me, it's not really possible in any other tier 10 battleship. Now that said, I don't own the Stalingrad. I will probably try and grind ranked. So help me God. Please try and keep some of my sanity. But I will of course try and grind the Stalingrad as well, because that seems like a really fun and interesting ship to play. And now of course he's focusing me because he sees my little health, but it doesn't really matter. So as I said before, I will soon go over all the modules and captain skills and consumables. But first off, the result screens, and as you can see, it's a pretty good match. 15 fires, 217k damage, and some pretty good credits and experience for a tier 10 cruiser. Also some nice achievements, which you usually end up getting in this cruiser. 2.3 thousand base XP is of course really nice, and this is what I'm talking about. I would never have gotten this game if I had pushed or lemming trained with my team up to the the C cap. But if you push that other side where the majority of the enemy fleet will be, and you use these Hindenburg kiting damage farming tactics, these are the kind of games that you will end up getting. And looking at the damage done, you can see I did almost 80k damage to the Kurfürst, which is pretty much 80% of his entire health pool. I did some good damage to the Kagero. I did 61k damage to the Conqueror, which is I think about 90% of his HP pool. And about 60% of the Montana's health pool as well, alongside some of the other ships. Fire damage, my 15 fires gotten me 80,000 damage done, and also some nice main battery, armor piercing, and IHE. No torps this match. And end screen results, I made off with about 300k credits, over 5,000 experience, and some free XP as well. So pretty good game for a tier 10 cruiser. So looking at the modules, the consumables, the flags, and the captain skills of the Hindenburg. First off, the consumables. I run premium, of course, on everything. And I have, of course, damage control and heal, which is the absolute most important consumables to use premium on. The next one I would say is the Hydra Acoustic Surge, since this is so overpowered German cruiser Hydro, and it's a really great addition if you want to be that destroyer, hunter, killer. And I use the spotter plane. You have the ability to equip the Catapult fighter instead, but I have trouble getting any use out of the Catapult fighter, because I think the spotter is doing both the job of spotting destroyers lurking around islands, and spotting torps, and of course giving me some extra 20% range on my guns when I'm kiting battleships, burning them down. This is a great addition, and also being able to punish smoked up British cruisers, shooting them in their smoke with my fierce AP salvo. So that is my choice for the consumables. Upgrade wise, I run with the upgraded spotting aircraft, so I get 30% more action time, because I think I can deal so much more damage using the spotter plane. And if you guys struggle with getting those high damage numbers in your Hinden games, I would recommend you to try out the spotter plane and my kind of playstyle, because I usually end up with between 140, 150 up to 220k damage in my Hindenburg. And I would say much of that damage is contributed by this consumable. I run damage control system 1. I have the aiming systems because, of course, I'm a long range sniper fire hose, so I don't really see the value of the others, especially since I don't run defensive AA or fighting aircraft. Damage control system 2. Now I actually have unlocked the legendary upgrade on my Hindenburg, which I didn't have unlocked in the game. You just saw me play. None of my games that I have on Hindenburg on my channel up to date, I don't have this equipped. And this is the thing, I mean, this compared with these two skills makes this already tanky cruiser almost impossible tanky. I mean, I pretty much never have to use my repair on any fires set on my ship, because the fire duration with this combo, and the fire flag, fire duration flag, a fire set on my ship usually gets put out in about 7 or 8 seconds. So I can have a double fire on my ship and I don't need to repair it. So the only time I really need to use my repair is when I get hit by a torpedo, which is really seldom because I have German Hydro as well. So this module that I will be showcasing in upcoming games will make my Hindenburg even more tankier than it is in my earlier videos, which is just insane. And here I have main battery modification 3, which puts my reload down by 12%. You have the possibility to use this one instead. That gives you greater range, but I think that is a pretty poor module to equip on your Hindenburg, because since you already have a great range with your spotter plane, you really don't need this range. It's much better to boost that amazing DPM. And none of the others are really, I mean, you have no use for these. So those are my consumables and upgrades. Camouflage, I would actually probably buy this because I play Hindenburg so much, so maybe it's worth it for me. But that said, I usually get a whole lot of other great camos with great benefits on them, so I don't think I really have to. Signal wise, I would say reload time of consumables, since you have so much good consumables that will both boost your survivability and your damage output. I would definitely equip the November Foxtrot flag. And of course, you are a fire spamming cruiser, so you will definitely want to equip both these fire flags on the Hindenburg, because as you've seen in all my Hindenburg videos, I do start a whole lot of fires. This is not really worth it, because I can't remember if I ever been detonated in the Hindenburg. I'm not saying that you can't. You probably can, and probably a whole lot of players have been detonated in a Hindenburg, but I can't actually remember that I ever been detonated in the Hindenburg. I have been detonated in a whole lot of other ships, but not the Hindenburg. So I could probably lose this flag. Here is the India Yankee flag, which reduces your fire extinguishing time with 20%. So this is a flag that you, in combo with the modules that I showed before, use to get that amazing short fire duration on your ship. Heal, of course, you are a high tier cruiser with heal, so you would definitely want to get 20% extra. And then these are just if you feel like it. These are the economic flags. It's just to boost your credit and XP intake, so to speak. Yeah. So, captain skills. Of course, the standard one for all cruisers. Priority target. You need to know when someone is targeting you, so you can start to dodge and maneuver. Second one, definitely adrenaline rush. There is no other that comes close to the efficiency that you will get out of this one. Third one, I would probably actually go for demolition expert first. Superintendent is of course great. You get an extra heal, especially, and also hydro and spotter plane, but this just boosts your damage output that much. So I would probably prioritize this first. There are options. I don't really feel like this is... I use this mostly on my gunboat DDs. I don't think I use this on any of my cruisers. This could add something, but not really in comparison with the others. You could go with vigilance, but since I usually half the first match I will have long range sniping, damage farming, and then at the mid game and towards the end game I will close up, go in close and knife fight the enemies, and then I will have my really powerful German hydro. So I don't really feel like I have any advantages in wasting 3 captain skills on vigilance when these 2 are so much better. Survivability and damage output. The 4th one that you will equip is of course the concealment expert. Now you do have a bigger concealment range when you equip the legendary module, but as I said just before, I played the long range game in the beginning, so the bad concealment of the Hindenburg has never really been an issue. So if there were a good other skill on the 4th line that I would be able to take, I could probably actually just choose to not take this one. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I already have IFHE baked into the Hindenburg pretty much, so I could do the concealment just for the benefits of it. But I feel like the way I play Hindenburg, it wouldn't be a deal breaker for me to not use the concealment expert, since I already have pretty crappy concealment. And then I went for High Alert, which reduces the reload time of the damage control party. I could actually probably take another skill now, because I have the legendary upgrade, so this isn't really that useful these days. So I could probably go with some other nice 1 or 2 point skills. And then I went for Superintendent, of course, for heal, spotter plane and hydro. And then I actually went for radiolocation, because as I said before, I don't really see all that benefits in the other. I don't need fire prevention. I have the legendary module. So, and this is actually pretty good, because since you are a really powerful carrying type of ship that usually survives to the end game and usually are one of the few left standing, I would say that this skill is actually quite useful. And also I of course play Hindenburg both in ranked and in clan wars, and this is pretty much my go-to ship in all game modes. And even in clan wars and ranked, of course, radiolocation, knowing where that last pesky destroyer is hiding, so you can go and just go bow in on his location, use your hydro, flush him out and kill him. I would say this is a really recommended pick if you want to build your Hindenburg captain. So this is pretty much it. As I said, I would probably respec the High Alert one, because I don't really see the value of it nowadays since I have the legendary module. I could probably use it on Jack of all trades instead. Yeah. So that said, I want to thank you guys so much for checking out this video. Please don't forget to leave a like and a comment below, and subscribe to the channel for more amazing World of Warship gameplays. Until next time, have a good one. Bye bye.